Hi everyone, my name is Kayla and welcome back to Kay's Hidden Shelf where we talk about books. Today I have a bit of housekeeping to share with you, just some channel updates that I've been mulling over for quite some time that I'd actually like to start putting into action, so I'm going to be sharing all of that with you today. On January 10th of 2024, it'll mark 2 years since I've started this channel. And I'm just blown away by all of the love, support, encouragement, kindness, and just sharing in our passions for stories. Thank you all so much. At the time of recording this, we're closing into 1,500 subscribers here on the channel, and I plan to do a celebration of some kind. I'm not quite sure yet exactly, but I will definitely be celebrating with all of you. So if you have any ideas, if you have something you'd like to see, leave your comments down below. But in the meantime, let's dive into what to look forward to in 2024. Now, since I've started this channel, I have tried to learn new things. I've experimented with different things, what's worked, what doesn't work. And one of the big things was video editing. This year in particular, I have tried to improve myself and learning how to do video editing better. And when I started this 2 years ago, I had no idea how to edit a video, let alone record and set up all of the lighting and audio, any of it. So this year I really wanted to try and improve those skills, get better at it to make better quality content for you. In addition to doing author interviews, live discussions, and making YouTube shorts, as well as starting a baking series on the channel, which was a whole other experience in recording while baking by yourself. And the year in my personal life has had its ups and downs, from marrying my husband after 10 years of being together and 5 years of waiting due to lockdowns to my grandmother's passing. When I look back at 2023, it's been chaotic to say the least. In terms of my reading, it's been all over the place, which means that my content has as well, or at least I feel like it has. So in 2024, I'm trying to be more structured and more organized, but part of that is going to be influenced by my reading plans as well. One thing I've always strived for on this channel is to share my reading experiences with indie books, and that has completely taken over my reading, which has put some of the traditionally published books that I have been dying to get to on the back burner. And that's something I'd like to balance better this year. And it's not just the fact that it's indie books, genre has also taken over as well. Normally, I like to vary the genres that I read, from historical fiction classics, fantasy, and sci-fi. And this year, fantasy kind of took over. That's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just what happened. And this year I'd like to better balance that reading as well. Part of that is also finishing series. I have started so many series, I don't want to know the number of them, but I've started them and just not finish them because a new shiny book shows up and, well, it gets put to the back burner. So there are authors that I'm looking forward to getting back to, including John Gwynne, Adrian Tchaikovsky, Brendan Sanderson, and I'm looking forward to diving back into the Malazan series, and that's just to name a few. I also forgot to mention that I have bought a lot of books this year, and I want to read them. I've went out, spent money on them. I want to read them as well. So while this isn't the read what you own challenge, it's going to be pretty close to it. If there are books continuing in the series that I want to continue on with, then yeah, I'll be buying more books, but I want to read the books that I've bought so far as well. So in terms of my reading, it's just going to be a bit more balanced, a bit more structured, and I'm not dropping indie books by any means. So many of my favorite books are self-published, and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. To me, what matters most about books and stories is the passion behind them. These authors, no matter how they are published, are passionate about telling their stories, and to me, that is what matters. So I will continue to read indie. I'm going to try and fit in some more trad books. Again, it doesn't matter to me how they're published. I just want to enjoy the stories. However, I will be slowing down on new review requests coming in and potentially putting a hold on it entirely. I want to ensure that I'm prioritizing the review copies that have been very kindly sent my way previously, and that I want to give them the attention they deserve rather than scrambling to try and accommodate all of the review requests. And part of that is not burning myself out, because when we burn ourselves out, when we get into reading slumps, at least I find I don't really enjoy the reading experience anymore. And so I want to ensure that I am taking care of myself so that I can properly enjoy the books that have been sent my way and review them with a clear mind. Burnout is not fun, and it's not something I want to go through on something that is a hobby. This is entirely a hobby for me. The channel is not monetized. There's no Ko-fi, no Patreon. I don't make any money off of this at all. I do it because I enjoy it, because it's taught me new skills. It's allowed me to make incredible friendships that I never thought I would have, and to be able to share experiences with my reading with all of you. This is not something I want to burn out on. As a result, one of my learning curves this year was being able to set better boundaries and not put so much stress on myself on something that's a hobby. There's only so fast I can read. On average, I read about a book a week, which I know to many will seem fast, but it's actually quite incredibly slow compared to all of the requests and books that are on my TBR. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop looking out for new authors. By all means, I am a magpie when it comes to books. So new authors, debut authors, I will still be looking out for your books, so don't worry about that. I have also thought of doing an indie spotlight video series to help with this. There's only so much time I have to read, and there are far more books being published than I have time to get to. But all of you might enjoy some of these books that I just don't have a chance to get to yet. So this video series might be twofold, helping you find some new books, but also helping some authors get their books out there. Next, I'd like to incorporate more structure into the channel and the videos that come out. Part of this is no longer doing monthly wrap-up videos, instead replacing them with weekly or bi-weekly updates. One of the biggest hurdles I hit this year was trying to cram in a month's worth of reading into one video. I know for all of you, it is about a 15-ish minute video, maybe 20 minutes. And really, I like to keep videos to 10 minutes if I can. But with it being 15 minutes for all of you, it was about an hour's worth of video and recording, and more time on top of that for preparation, and there's a few reasons why. One of the biggest hurdles is that by the time the month has come to an end and it's time to share my reading with all of you, I often forget what I read. So in order to record that video, it takes a lot more preparation, a lot more going back and double checking what I read and making sure I didn't miss anything, because sometimes I enjoy reading short stories and I've missed sharing a lot of those with you actually, because I just simply forgot and I don't always track everything in Goodreads. Not to mention the recording time, because while the videos might end up being 15 minutes, 20 minutes for you, it was over an hour's worth of recording for me due to mistakes and double checks and just the chaos that goes on behind the camera. So by the time the editing is done, which takes more than double that time as a result, it's a lot of work for a short video and with an end result that I'm really not happy with. The other reason for this is being able to keep the discussions a bit more current. I would love to be able to hear what you're all reading more close to the time when you actually read it, as opposed to the end of the month and we're all scratching our head trying to think about what we read and what we enjoyed. For me, I'd love to be able to share all of this with you in a more timely manner. As I mentioned as well, sometimes I pick up short stories and I often forget to share those, but by doing a weekly or bi-weekly wrap up, this should resolve both issues, being able to keep that currency, that discussion with all of you in a bit more of a timely manner, while also reducing the amount of time recording and editing. In general, I try to keep videos 10 to 15 minutes long, not just because of the recording and editing that goes into it, but because your time is precious. And that matters to me. I know what it's like to try and fit so much into your day, all the things that you want to do, watch, get to, your own reading, hobbies, work, your life, your family, your friends, all of it. So I know how precious your time is, and I know that there are those of you who love longer format content, which is why those will be staying on the channel too. I'll be continuing with the interviews and live shows, but in terms of the weekly videos that come out here on the channel, I just want to make sure that you're getting quality content that you can easily fit in your day. I'll also still continue with the baking episodes that I started here this year, so don't worry about that if you've enjoyed them. I am thrilled that they have gotten the reception they have because baking food is my love language as much as stories. So that will be continuing, and there will probably be more changes happening on in the background as the year goes on. So with all of this in mind, I am going to be taking the next couple weeks off from videos. You might still see a few shorts from me, but in terms of regular content, absolutely there won't be one next week, as I'll be enjoying Christmas with my family and getting ready to make preparations for the New Year's content. Again, thank you all so much for being your wonderful selves, for supporting, for encouraging, for sharing in your reading experiences, and just your incredible kindness. In the entirety of this year, I think I've gotten 1 or 2 negative comments on videos, which is incredibly insane when you think about how many videos have gone out and are just on the internet. And that is amazing to me, and that truly to me tells me how incredible all of you are. So thank you so much for making this chaotic year as amazing as it's been. So until next time, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and a happy new year. Enjoy the time with your loved ones and just enjoy some time relaxing as well. I hope you find some great reads. Thank you as always for watching, and take care of yourselves.